Are we live? I think we're live. And that means it's time to start the show, but it's just time to start the show. Do I want to raise this a little bit? Maybe I want to raise this a bit. That's too much. There we go. Just enough. Hopefully it stays. Going to start the show with, this is not loud enough. I don't hear it. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Happy Friday, everybody. It's time to start with this song.
It's time to rise and shine. Come on and grab your cup of joe. It's morning time. We got Sean talks traffic law. He's the man in blue, and Aaron knows all the parking rules and TO's true. So buckle up, get ready for some fun. We're gonna make you laugh until the day is done. Ask a traffic cop. Yeah, that's the deal. You got questions, Sean's got answers. Keep it real. Welcome to the FriYAY morning show, where the traffic's flowing and the laughter's in tow. Sean talks traffic law. Aaron's got the parking scoop. We're starting your day off right. There ain't no group like the FriYAY morning show.
I'm not sure this is the version I wanted. Maybe it was this one.
It's a do-rise.
Nah, it's not that one. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. Press the right button that time. Let's start by letting you know what this is. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police officer with the Toronto Police Service. I talk about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff every single day, even when I'm not here, even if it's only my kids listening. But I'm here for you today, and I am here to answer your traffic and police questions. And joining me very shortly in this area here will be Erin Urquhart. She is better known online, not as the parking guru, that's what I call her, but she is TPS_Bikeheart on all the platforms. And she'll be joining us to talk about parking stuff. So you have those questions, get them in. I will be flagging those questions so we can answer them over the next hour. Now, I have Vision Zero on the screen, and that's because I want to tell you where they are today. I want to tell you what they are if you don't already know. Because you could be here for the very first time. It's possible. I know most people know about the show, and most people follow, subscribe, and share this on whatever platform they're coming in through, which could be a lot of different places. But I want to talk to you about Vision Zero. They are a group of officers who do amazing work. They are out there changing driver behavior one ticket at a time. They're doing that not by giving hugs, not by giving warnings. They are out there giving tickets. They're holding people accountable for the choices they choose to make when behind the wheel of a car. We know that certain behaviors, the big four that are on the screen right now, speeding, aggressive driving, distracted driving, and impaired driving, they lead to serious injury and death more often than other behaviors like following the rules do. And I love the arguments that people make on a regular basis about how speeding doesn't matter, cell phone, no big deal. The people who think that don't know very much about how this game is played. It's all about safety. Anyway, today they are in 13 Division and 43 Division. We're talking about Yorkdale, Glen Park, Briar Hill, Wychwood, Oakwood, Vaughan, Bendale, Woburn, Highland Creek, West Hill, Guildwood. Those are the neighborhoods where real people live, work, and play and deserve to be safe. Now, let me just expand on that. Those are the ones that we're focusing on today with that team. That doesn't mean that there's no other officers anywhere else in the city who are doing exactly the same thing, trying to make roads safer through enforcement. I like to call it education through enforcement because that ticket should change your behavior going forward. If you get pulled over and stopped, well, that's what pulled over is, it's being stopped. If you get stopped and charged for driving in a way that is unsafe, you have a ticket, your record is no longer pristine, your insurance rates have the potential of going up, maybe you'll change your behavior, and that's what we're going for. We are currently broadcasting on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and of course, X, which used to be called Twitter. And on all of those accounts, you can actually say hello and engage with us. See, social media is meant to be social. If you're not talking to us, we're just talking to ourselves. And that's why this show is so awesome, because we're talking with you. We're having conversations that matter to you, because traffic impacts everybody. If you walk, ride, or drive, it's dealing with something that impacts you. Unless you never leave the house, and that's unlikely. Although it is possible. In any case, please like, follow, and share our content. It helps us get messages out to people who need them. And everyone needs to know about stuff like this because we want to be safe. We want to take ourselves to and fro without getting in trouble. No tickets, no pain, no suffering. That's what we're going for. It's a Vision Zero thing. Where we acknowledge that major collisions are preventable and the minor ones that don't hurt people. Well, we get it. But the major ones, yeah, preventable and unacceptable. Okay, these podcasts, these episodes, these streaming sessions are downloaded and then re-uploaded to the podcast networks that not only are the ones on the screen, but other ones too, like your favorite ones. That's just the ones that I had logos for. Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, Spotify. Yeah, then you can listen to this on replay when you're driving without breaking the law or burning your data, and I think that's pretty cool. I do. Do I not? That goes on my forward. We'll stick with this one. Okay. On with the show. Let's see here. Who do we have? We got lots of folks here. We've got Akela Draconis first to the party, who says, greetings and salutations, his standard opening line. We have a dad joke. I don't want to put the dad joke up yet. Okay, I'll flag it for later. We have a Brandon Brandon. Brandon is here with a good morning, Sean, and all of the good people. Let's have an amazing day. Yes, let's have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. We go into the weekend, and we wish you the best over the weekend. Really, everyone who's watching. This is that great time when you get to unwind. Hopefully you don't have to work. But, I have to check. You just reminded me. Thank you, Brandon. Talk about the weekend. This weekend is the Ontario Police Memorial, and I want to know if you're going to be there, if you're going to be watching. I will be there, and I want to check. Just let me see here. Just checking. I might have a special guest. Checking in to see if you're popping by today. Make sure I put popping by. I just put popping today, and it wouldn't make any sense. Okay. But thank you for the reminder. Yeah, Sunday, I'll be at Queen's Park for the police memorial. And, of course, we'll have police services from across the province here to show tribute, to pay tribute to the people who have paid the ultimate sacrifice by giving their lives in the service to their province, to their country, to their communities. And, of course, really to acknowledge the people who continue to pay for that sacrifice. They continue to pay because they are the ones living without their loved ones who paid that with their lives. It's heavy stuff, but we're doing it, and we have to do it. We have to remember. We have to do the right thing there. And you can participate. The public is invited. And I'll have this streaming on multiple channels later. An interview I had with Jason Tomlinson, who's the president of the Ontario Police Memorial Foundation. And we talk about in depth sort of what it is and what it means to us. But yeah, you can watch online. You can watch in person. It's amazing if you've never seen anything like that. Anyway, moving on. We have a question from Brandon, which I'm going to flag for. I'll come back to it. Just finishing with the hellos. Northern Pike says, good morning, Sean and everyone. Good morning to you. Michael says, good FriYAY. Good FriYAY to you too. Tim Shallow says, good morning, Sean, and happy Friday to everyone. We have a joke from Michael. We'll flag that for later. We have a good morning, Shabbat Shalom from Stop Anti-Semitism Today. Good morning to you. You become a regular participant in the stream. Good to have you back. Paul says, happy Friday, or FriYAY. See, I can't even keep track of which one's which. FriYAY, Friday. They're synonymous to me. Kensley Morales says, what unit? I am here with the Toronto Police Traffic Services Unit. It says traffic services with the motor wings right there. It's harder than it looks to try and aim this way. There we go. VZ, you got that nice little sign addition here. A-Team, we're not with the A-Team. I'm not Knight Rider. And this, does anyone know what the barcode license plate is? Let me know if you do. And no worries if you missed it. It's good. Also, if you didn't know, if you're watching, and you are watching on TikTok, Kensley, if you can watch archives. This is the 56th episode this year. 56, I think. And it's awesome. It's awesome. This is like year 3 too. Is it year 3? I think it's year 3. In any case, we're here for you. If you want to watch all the old episodes, you can be busy for many, 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 many hours. We've got okay. Oh, I'm interested to know. Okay. He can't make it in person, but he can make it virtually. Feel free to jump in the link I sent. I am writing and speaking while typing. Okay. That is, so he might jump in remotely. And again, that's Jason Tomlinson we're talking about, who might be joining us. And if he does, he'll pop on screen. We'll say hello. We'll say goodbye. We'll chat about what's happening on Sunday, and we'll move on. Okay. Cool. We got Hoban15 who says, good morning. Good morning to you. We got Cowboy who says, good morning. Good morning to you. Hoban has questions. Okay, very good. This is a question about the breathalyzer. This is a fantastic conversation. People are talking about it all over the place because of recent announcements from other police services who are utilizing laws about mandatory alcohol screening. So I will explain that in just a moment. We'll come back to it. Let's see here. Oh, and we got more questions from Cowboy about that. Interesting. The biggest wang in town. I love usernames. Any tips for driving an SUV at the track? What to do to minimize risk? This is a question that I don't have any good answers for. SUVs tend to be very top heavy and can be easily tripped to roll. So obviously sometimes this is done like they are. I'm sure they are raced, but it's not a question that I can answer. My friend, however, who's coming in next week, is a professional race car driver and race team owner. And if you want to come back when Brian Max joins the studio, well then you'll be able to ask him. You could also just go to Brian Max on all platforms and ask him yourself. But I'd rather you ask here because it's awesome when we get to talk about this stuff. Radek says, good morning, happy Friday. And we got here Nate, who is a DoorDash shout out. This one's new to me. Yeah, okay. I've never used DoorDash. Kensley says, oh my, I forgot it's new now. If you're talking about mandatory alcohol screening, it's not new at all, actually. It's been around since 2018. So not new at all. Okay, lots of discussion around mandatory alcohol screening. So maybe we just jump into that. Okay, scrolling back to my flagged questions. The first one that started on the topic was, is it all right to refuse a breathalyzer at any time? And the answer is no. In Canada, if a demand for a roadside screening device, which is not a breathalyzer, it's a breath sample into a device that's capable of determining if you have more than the legal limit, but it doesn't give us a scientific number for purposes of court. It is to basically determine if you have more than the legal limit. Then we have a breathalyzer at the station where you perform 2 tests with a qualified breath technician. And refusal for either, actually there's a bunch of things. If you refuse to use or comply with the roadside screening test, you're charged with refuse. It's the same as though you failed. If you comply with that, but then refuse at the station with the breath technician, it is a refuse. You're charged accordingly, and it's the same consequence as if you failed. If you are asked to do a standard field sobriety test, and you refuse, guess what? It's as though you failed. So can you refuse? Sure you can. But then you give us this wonderful evidence on camera that says you refused. And that's easier for us to get a conviction on than if you fail. If you fail, you have all sorts of possible reasons why you failed. I'm not suggesting that you should be playing the system, but if you want to legitimately have a way to defend yourself, probably doing the test is the right way to go. Now, I am not a lawyer, and of course I am biased because I am the police officer telling you what the law is, and obviously I want you to comply with the law. So I suggest you get a legal representative, at very least, before you make silly decisions like that. Don't do that. But Cowboy says, I thought the mandatory breath tests were only in GTA, but they're happening in KW? I don't know what KW is. OPP says, so mandatory alcohol screening is Canada-wide. And what this means is that in the absence of suspicion, police can still utilize mandatory alcohol screening. So let's say I say, every single car I'm going to pull over, I'm going to make them do a breath test. We've always been able to do this, at least since 2018. And that means everybody gets a test, completely unbiased, right? If I say every third car is going to get a test, regardless of whether or not I have suspicion, because if I have suspicion, I don't use mandatory alcohol screening. I use a regular breath demand based on the suspicion that you have blood or alcohol in your blood. I'm making a demand for a sample of your breath. And if you're really just impaired, I'm not going to use either of those because I'm just going to arrest you for impaired. And I'm going to make a breath demand to come see a breath tech. I think I've covered pretty much everything. But if you've got more questions based on this, I'm happy to discuss. That's what this is all about. The show is a show for you, talking about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And if you've got questions that aren't yet discussed here, well, let's talk about them. What is this? If someone uses mouthwash, I can't speak of the English. Hang on a second. I need water. That's what I need. If someone uses mouthwash which contains alcohol, would it be red? Yes, if you just used mouthwash and rinsed your mouth like right now. Generally speaking, we want to know when the last time you've consumed alcohol, smoked, food. Like, we want to know when the last time you put something in your mouth is. And we're going to wait an appropriate amount of time to ensure that mouth alcohol, residual mouth alcohol, is not a factor in the test. There you go. So, yeah, if you brushed your teeth this morning and used mouthwash with alcohol in it, and it's 3 p.m. and it's been a number of hours, that's not a concern. My question is coach drivers louder in the third lane when it says no commercial vehicle? So, in the third lane, do you mean the first lane? Because they're counted from the center outward. So lane 1 is the leftmost lane in Canada. If you were in Australia, like my guest from earlier this week, well, then it would be, in fact, the third lane would be the left lane. Left lane would be the third lane, which is anyway. I'm confused myself. Australia does that to me. Okay. But if there's no commercial vehicles, there's a bus lane, like on the DVP, we have a TTC, or I should say not a TTC, a go bus lane. So I'm not entirely sure. If you're just talking about lane 1, no, buses and big rigs shouldn't be there. Okay. 2 right turning lanes. Can you turn from either lane on a red? If you, in fact, have multiple turn lanes that are, like, it's a lane that doesn't say left turn and you want to go right, but you're talking about a lane that allows you to either make either a left or right turn. The example I always use, because I know it exists, is the Leslie off-ramp from the 401. Leslie, right where the North York General Hospital is. That particular off-ramp is very specifically a multi has more than one right turn lane. And yes, at a red light, if you've come to a complete stop at both of those, then both of those can proceed to make a right turn if it's safe to do so after having finished that whole stop thing. What I don't understand, I really don't understand. Did I mention I don't understand? I don't know why people just drive through these things. The first person stops and goes, and then everyone else just drives, no stop. That's called running a red light. That gets you that wonderful ticket with demerit points that I would happily write to everybody who doesn't come to a complete stop. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand how people have their licenses and don't understand basic rules. That's not directed at you, Ice Tash. I'm talking about the people who don't stop. Okay, we've got a quote from Akela. So Radek wants to know, or says, or asks, now that OPP will be screening for alcohol on every traffic interaction, will Toronto Police follow suit? That's not something that we're doing that I'm aware of, and I'm generally aware of these things. OPP has done this. They're doing it. They've been doing it for some time. They're going to continue doing it, and we'll see what they do. I mean, is it going to catch people that haven't been caught or are breaking the rules and squeaking by because they're professional drinkers? Yeah, it's going to catch more people. It's going to make people think twice. Is it a good idea? I think so. We always have the ability of using MAS. It's just, are we mandating that it's going to be every stop? Not at this time. Yes, the barcode plate is an out of time from Back to the Future 2. One of the great, we're talking about this plate right here. Very, very good. But of course, Michael knows that one because Michael is awesome. We have Adele who says, good morning. And then we've got Northern Pike who says, hello, Sean and everyone. Thumbs up. I didn't know. Some people say that thumbs up is offensive. This is a Gen Z thing, apparently. I am not someone who understands why thumbs up would be offensive, and maybe somebody can explain it to me. What do we have here? For some reason, we've lost the TikTok feed. Let me fix the TikTok feed. We have chat. There we go. Let me fix it. Stand by. Hello, bots. Fix the relay bot. Hopefully this works. Okay. So it's possible that we've missed you. We're going to scroll back and try and catch up because it was working and then it wasn't. Okay. John Frankly asks, does it matter if you accelerate fast from a stop but don't break traction or exceed the speed limit? It depends. Everything really is depends. And if it's not reckless, if it's not a amazing break from reality, maybe not. But if pedestrians are jumping out of the way, if everyone's turning their head because they're scared to death based on what you've done, if you created unnecessary noise from your exhaust by doing it, could you potentially be charged? Yeah, you could. I'm not going to tell you that you can do it. It depends. Let's see here. Red Major wants to know, what's the max speed you'd go on the passing lane if it's clear and empty on the highway? That I would go? I'd do the speed limit. That's the speed limit. You can't go out. You can't go beyond the speed limit. Why are we still not working? Hang on a second. We're refreshing. Trying to get it working. Refreshing again. It's broken. Tech support. It's broken. All right. Let me. Someone says it's Gen Z. It's not Gen Z. That's funny. We've really lost a lot of these questions. All right, hang on a second. Trying to find this. When it doesn't work, here, it's back. Okay, Manda, you're the first. So whenever this comment was made, which was just now, I'm assuming, that is the most recent comment. So if you're in the chat, please comment again. Also, because now that it's working again, we're going to catch up, hopefully. But anything that's behind, I've lost. So please ask your question again. I don't normally ask you to spam. This isn't spam. This is just asking you to do it again. People seriously don't understand speed limits. No, people choose to ignore what they know. They know the speed limit is a speed limit. And I was tagged actually in a video about speed limits where a chap goes through and he says, okay, in a 30 do 30 and a 40 do, and he goes through, breaks down how much he thinks you should be able to speed and get away with it. Obviously, the answer is you're never allowed to speed, and depending on who you get, you might find yourself being charged a lot sooner than you think. Like in a 30 zone, you do 10 over, I'm going to give you a ticket. You do 5 over, I'm going to pull you over and give you a consultation for free about speed limits and explain things. If you're on a regular road, 5 to 10 might get you through, but 20 anywhere, I'd be pulling you over. 15 over in a 60, absolutely all day long, I'm going to charge you. So it depends on what you're going to do, because some cops are looking for 20 and 25 over, but you don't know which cop you got. So why risk it? And why put people's lives at risk? That's the real question. Thank you, Ella, for that comment. At a bus stop. So we already talked about the coaches. What do we got here? At a bus stop where the dividing line is not continuous, can you make the right turn around the bus? Okay, so this is a bus bay where the bus has stopped servicing the right answer, truthfully, is to stop, wait, and have patience. There's nowhere that you are going to go that is going to change so dramatically if you cut in front of the bus, potentially taking out a pedestrian. It's just not right. So there are times when you have to do it. The bus is the bus driver puts it in the bus bay and, is digging for gold, picking his nose, doing something, gone for a coffee. This happens in the city, whether it's right or wrong. And you're now stuck. You can't wait there for half an hour. That's not reasonable. And if there's room for you to pass the bus with caution and get into that lane before making the turn, you do it. What you cannot do is make the right turn from the incorrect lane. That would be improper, and you could be charged. Aaron's not here yet. Aaron said she'd be running a few minutes late, but it's 28 minutes after. Interesting. Okay, what do we got here? Miss Pep Michelle says, or Mrs. Pep Michelle. I always get those confused. I'm on TikTok and the connection is fine. I appreciate that the connection was good, but I wasn't seeing the questions. And now that it's working, I see your comment. Okay. We have, why do cops put hands on your car when pulled over? That's really an American thing more than anywhere else, but the idea behind it is continuity of evidence. So if you run away and then I ask someone to pull over the red car, that has the sticker that says Bob across the back, and they pull you over and you say, well, it wasn't me. There's suddenly this wonderful piece of evidence that goes towards continuity. It says that is in fact the car because Officer Joe's handprint is on the back of it. And that's the deal. That's the deal. Okay. What do bylaw? Did we break this again? I think we did. This is not acceptable. Because there's a lot more going on here than we just. Come on. 32 messages and we're getting like a few. Now, it might be that we're getting dribs and drabs, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm copying and pasting the entire chat. That's what I'm doing. It's the entire chat. What can I put this in? Word. I don't want to crash anything. Maybe Notepad. Okay. Notes. Did I ever tell you that I'm a Mac person and I don't like PC, but I'm using a PC because it's here, and it belongs to the service, and I'm kind of stuck. Okay, notes. Notepad. WordPad or Notepad? Notepad. Okay. Opening this low. It's a low impact app. I know you don't care, but I'm a trying. All right. Oh, wow, we lost so many things. Okay, hang on. Good questions, good questions. Question from Serge. Can I go 120 on the 401? I mean, I know you're likely capable. Oh, so let's finish with John Frankly, and then we'll get into Serge. What do bylaw officers enforce? Bylaws, of course. Okay. Jason's going to be on shortly. Cool. But yeah, it's bylaws, of course. So bylaws could be anything from noise bylaws, signage things, noise bylaws. Like there's just tons of bylaws. Riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, park enforcement for, drinking. There's tons of things that they could do. Sometimes it's the police doing it. And how's it going, Tian? What's up? All right, back to Serge, who wants to know if they can go 120 on the 401. Just because I can, I'll put it on the screen. This will be suddenly terribly low tech. All right. So the question is not whether or not you can. You really want to know if you're going to get stopped, and I can't give you a promise either way. I would stop you because you're breaking the law. Simple as that. And should you do it? No, because we know that speeding is unsafe, despite what everyone might think, that it's a victimless crime, but we actually know that it increases the chances of collision considerably. There's stats. You can go to TIRF.ca, and they have articles about how speeding and the percentage of speed or the increase in speed of only 5 kilometers an hour like quadruples your chance of collision. And people go, what are you talking about? I got bimbo brakes. I'm fine. And the answer is, you might be okay until you're not. And that means that when something up ahead changes, you have less time to respond because your brain takes a few seconds to process, or milliseconds, depending on how you want to measure it. And by the time that your foot, your eyes send the message to your brain responds, your foot then gets the signal and goes to the brakes, you may have already hit something. And that 20 kilometers an hour may have been it. Oh, interesting. Okay, I got to turn off the messages because I don't want to hear bing, bing, bing anymore. Okay, do not disturb for 1 hour on my Mac. All right. Did I lose my train of thought? No, just basically saying that I would ticket you for that. Whirlwind hopes that nobody's drinking mouthwash. That's good. The Benjamin says, good morning. Okay. The Benjamin says that they acknowledge that impaired driving is a big problem, but they don't like the reach that this particular mandatory alcohol screening law has. And I get it. It's not. Here's the deal. Is it encroaching on your rights? Yes, it is. And you know what the courts say about it? It's acceptable based on the fact that it is such an issue in society, that people are dying because of it, that because it's in service for safety of all, it's acceptable. And now it's the same thing with ride programs, and it's the same application. The crazy Greek of Canada says, good morning, the beard, does that suit you? Are you saying my beard suits me, or you're asking me? I don't know what you're asking me, or you're just complimenting me. Whatever it is, I like the beard. I'm happy with my beard. I was going with a goatee for a long time, and the beard is where it's at now. I'm enjoying going gray. Am I going gracefully into gray? I don't know. Okay, we'll get back to questions in just a second, because I want to take this opportunity to discuss becoming a member of the Toronto Police Service. You see, we are hiring, and we're hiring people in a whole bunch of different positions, like a whole bunch of different positions. If you're interested in knowing more about becoming a member of the Toronto Police Service, check out TPS Employment Unit's webpage, www.tps.ca/careers. On that magical page, you'll be greeted by these smiling faces, and you can read more about the positions that interest you, whether it be police officer, special constable, which, by the way, shout out to constables that are special. I used to be one. I was a court officer. That's how I started. Erin, if she ever arrives, is a parking enforcement officer and does parking enforcement stuff. Communications operators, shout out to you. I just visited you guys recently, and they do amazing work, and they're hiring Yeah, more on that if you want to click there. Auxiliary officer. I said I started out as a court officer. I started as a court officer for paid service, but truly I began my relationship 24 years ago with the Toronto Police Service as an auxiliary officer. That is the best volunteer opportunity, period. Hands down, anywhere. I love it. And shout out to auxiliary officers, you rock. But this is where I love to spend the most of my time, and I go in here because the people who know what they want to do know what they want to click on. But if you want to serve, if you want a great job, a career with lots of opportunity, with great benefits, with great pay, well, many people don't realize that we hire civilians. We hire people who don't wear uniforms every day, but what they do is back-end stuff that supports police and other units to allow us to do the good work in the community that we do every day, which means that you're doing, by extension, good work in the community by helping us. Senior communications advisor, they got a posting. Intermediate technical analyst, audio visual. No idea what that means. Financial planner. I think I saw this before, and I questioned why. But hey, cool. If they're willing to hire someone to do that, then you should take the job if you qualify. General counsel, legal services. They're looking for a lawyer. No, a lawyer. I'm trying to make my New York thing. It sounds like a liar, but it's not. Liar. Anyway, my kids last night, and I totally going off topic. Last night, my kids were asking me to do a British accent, do an Australian accent, too. And I was not good at most of them, any of them, but I was trying. And they do New York. Anyway, then I get in trouble with my New York friends. They go, we don't talk like that. Stop it. Anyway, equity, inclusion, and human rights curriculum specialist, special constable. Hey. See, they're hiring. 2024 Youth and Policing Initiative After School Program. That one you should check out. Communications operator. That's, again, magical people. They're the ones who take calls from 911, helping people in need and getting police to respond to those emergency calls. And then developer in the digital team. All these opportunities, well, they're here. And if you don't take advantage of them and apply when the opportunity is live, well, you're going to miss out because they're not up forever. The communication, developer and digital team. May 24th, it closes. January 30th, 2024, that should have already been, that's opening. So they haven't announced when they're closing it. Okay, we got May 5th, that's May 5th, that's Sunday. Oh, yeah, it's Sunday. Yeah, that's for Yippee program. So once it's gone, it's gone. Then the people who have applied are the ones that we see, and that's all we see. So if you want to take your chances, if you want the opportunity, get in there. Get in there. What are you waiting for? All right, back to this. Something's really gone on. We've lost the chat. I don't want to risk. Hang on, let me see if I can do this. Is it working? Yeah, the chat looks like it's broken all around. But you know what? Do me a favor. Send some messages from YouTube and Facebook and everywhere. Just if it's a problem, I got to report it with tech support. This is unusual. Like, it's usually TikTok breaks, but not everything. And today, it appears that everything is broken. Just saying. Let's get back onto the notepad and continue with questions from you. Hey, Aaron, what's happening? Aaron's here. Let me move over to make room. By the way, shout out to my amazing table. I feel bad blocking it. This is the podcasting station, and we are doing a podcast today with which is going to be cool. And I'm not here next Wednesday, so I might air the podcast next Wednesday. Maybe.
I'm still a little
Well, Aaron just rode her bicycle to work.
Yeah. Hence the little glow and sweat.
It's okay. You're just getting ready for summertime in this room.
It's very hot in here, too.
You want to turn the fan on?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, turn the fan on.
Do that. I could use some extra
Air is good. Northern Pike sent a message from YouTube. We're confirmed that YouTube is working. That is good. Okay.
Is she plugged in?
It should be on.
Oh, there we go. It's just delayed.
Just taking a second to respond.
Some love? No? That's weird.
Well, it started. It stopped. What the heck is that? Turn it on higher, maybe.
I think I put it on the highest. Oh.
That's so weird. If it explodes.
There we go. There we go. She's going.
I think what happened is I had it on for like a month straight, and then I turned it off.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is not a commercial fan, folks. This is a basic, cheapy fan that I was gifted because I was melting.
It looks like it's from like the early 2000s.
It's not new. This is police technology at its best. Anyway, yeah. So that's
topic. Holy moly.
So Michael wants to know if the Telegram group gets early access to the podcast instead of Wednesday. That's something we might be able to do to test it in the group. And if you want to go to our Telegram group and join the party, telegram.TrafficCop.ca. Telegram is a fun place. We have a little side chat, about 20 people in there. It's not something we've been pushing hard, but it is neat. And we have like a bowling league that is all virtual.
Really?
Yeah. Michael actually brought in a. He introduced me to a new app, and we can play darts and we can play. So it's cool. It is really cool. You should join our bowling league.
Okay.
I know it's spring, but how are snow route no parking spots enforced?
So usually the snow route no parking spots are enforced when there's like a massive dumping of snow. So we didn't have a lot of snow this winter, but we did have snow removal. So whenever there's actually snow removal happening, like in your neighborhood, it is usually signed before it is enforced. Like it'll be like, keep this side of the street clear. And I think that snow route bylaw was put into place like years and years ago when like the year that they had to like bring the army in for, I don't know, like this is before my time, I think. But anyways, it's not like if it's enforced, you'll know it's going to be enforced.
But how does it? How is it enforced? Because we announce it, and then what happens? They tow you.
Exactly.
You get towed out of the way because what you're doing is interfering with the clearing of the road, and people park all over the place. Oh! I just noticed Jason Tomlinson.
Oh, hey.
Here. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Sorry, I don't know how long you were staring at us and staring at us while we ignored you.
No, just a few minutes. It was okay. I was interested to hear the outcome of the question. So
it's all about snow. It's all about snow. Everyone cares about snow right now. So I don't know if I let you know, but Jason's coming onto the show today for a few minutes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because this Sunday is the Ontario Police Memorial. I'm going to be there. Are you coming out?
Is that an auto? No, is that
It's here. It's here. Queen's Park. It's Queen's Park.
I am going to be working though, like enforcement.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
so maybe I'll swing by.
Yeah, swing by. I'm there every year. It's really important to me, and it's really important to Jason. Jason is the president of the Ontario Police Memorial Foundation. I think I got that right. And as I'm thinking and reading and doing all at the same time, I tend to trip over myself. But I know that we wanted to talk about it one last time before the event to let people know what's up.
Yeah. So like we do every Sunday, the first Sunday in every May each year, we come together at Queen's Park where the Ontario Police Memorial site is with the statue and the wall of remembrance. And we come together in person to honor those officers who have fallen in the line of duty. And this year we're adding 4 names, making it 281 since we have come together. We've been doing this for 25 years, but we add historical names as well. So we have 281 names now being recognized on the Wall of Honor at Queen's Park.
Now, I mentioned it at the beginning of the episode in that, we're honoring the people who paid the ultimate sacrifice, the people who died. But most people don't acknowledge and realize that the people who we're also honoring are the people who are continuing to pay every year with the absence of their loved one.
Absolutely. One of the things that is the most important detail with respect to the memorial is we honor the families of the fallen, the loved ones, the comrades, the colleagues, all the people who suffer the loss. And ironically, we thank the officers for their sacrifice, but just like you coined it perfectly when you said, it's those people left behind who pay that price every single day while their loved one is gone on.
It's heartbreaking, and of course we see it's a strange thing. I look forward to it in the strangest of ways because every year I get to see my colleagues, people I don't get to see every day, and we come together, and it's often hugs and high fives, and there's a positive side of it where we get together, but we're all there for the common good and the common goal of remembering, and it's really amazing. But many people don't realize that they can come, they can see a full regimental event where there's marching, there's drums and bands and motorcycles. Like it's a big deal, and it's done right.
It is. And to further your comment about it being kind of a good day, these are the days that we are at our best. These are the days that we come together and we acknowledge the oath that we took, the oath that we swore to the families and to each other as we remember them. And yes, don't forget the bagpipes, Sean. You know, the bagpipes are a big deal, very moving. It's a very moving ceremony. And we do it because in our police world, in the law enforcement world, we have integrity. And we said we would do it. And so that's why we do it. We're going to remember those people who answered the call to serve. And we're very proud to do so.
Now, the website, if someone can't make it in person, is it opmf.ca?
That's right. Yes, that's right. opmf.ca. There will be a social media stream that will go out on YouTube, Facebook, and I believe other social media applications as well.
I think we're going to put it out on our channels as well. That's the plan. So if you can't make it in person, check it out online. It's really a sight to see. If you can make it in person, it is amazing. And I never, in my wildest dreams, would have said that I'm a bagpipe guy. I love the bagpipe. I hear the music, whether it's on a tape or I'm in person, and I want to march. I want to get involved, and I'm often brought to tears. Quite frankly, it's really moving.
Yeah, the bagpipes are an emotional part of our ceremony. When you take those moments to reflect on why we're there, and the lament is played during the act of remembrance, it's actually something to see. And just like you said, we are open to the public. Citizens who benefit from the protection of police officers are encouraged to come down and pay their respects to those who've gone on before us, and to honor those families as well.
That's awesome. Well, listen, thanks for dropping in to talk about it. I hope everyone takes the opportunity to come out and participate in person. It is really, it's something worth doing. If you've never done it before, you should absolutely go, and at very least watch online.
Absolutely. And thank you for letting me interrupt your show here. You've been a great supporter, Sean, and I can't thank you enough.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Very good. Hope to see everybody out there. Take care, folks.
Bye, Jason.
That's awesome. I felt so bad. I looked over, and there's Jason in the corner, and I'm like, I forgot all about you. I thought he was the employment screen. It's like a green room where there's no doorbell. They just show up, and I have to be paying attention.
Hello.
A question that came up, and I think I put it up here. Here we go. This is a question that came in from James Alt. I had to cut and paste it because things are broken. It's a weird technology day. I don't get it. And Kensley, I see that you're going to try and make it awesome to the memorial. Very cool. I love it. Okay, let us have pepper spray is what James says, and let me address that request because obviously people are very concerned about self-protection. And here's the deal with pepper spray in the whole world of self-defense. You're allowed to have pepper spray in Canada. It is not permitted for use against humans. It is permitted for use as dog repellent. You can go buy it in the store as dog repellent. Do you carry dog repellent?
I don't.
You have dogs. You like dogs.
I do have a dog, but
I know people who protect their own dogs with dog repellent.
Yeah. Well, I have had instances with other dogs, but not so much where I think I would pepper spray a dog, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. People say, well, if I can have it, can I use it against humans? And here is what people get really confused. If you care, intent is a big deal with law. So if you have pepper spray and it's dog repellent and it's in your pocket and someone tries to attack you and you say, oh, I've got pepper spray, but I can't use it against a human because that's illegal. That's true. But if you do use it, it falls into a category of something called weapon of opportunity. Listen, you could be carrying a pencil. And if you take that pencil and stab someone with it, It wasn't intended as a weapon when you put it in your pocket, but you've used it as a weapon. It's a weapon of opportunity. And is there an area where that becomes permissible? You might get charged. But we would hope that if someone is aggressively attacking you and you use whatever means you're allowed, because you are allowed to use force. In fact, you're allowed to use deadly force if you can justify it.
Against fatal against fatal, right?
Right. If someone's trying to kill you, then you can use as much force as necessary to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So in that scenario where you're in fear of your life and you use pepper spray, it's reasonable, but you may still have to articulate and defend yourself. Yeah, you can have dog repellent, and that's
articulation is key.
Yeah, like if you say, well, it's like people with knives. If you carry a Swiss Army knife and you say it's a Swiss Army knife, I use it for Swiss Armying.
Yeah.
Like I use it. It's a screwdriver. It's a can opener. I use it for what it's designed for. It's not a weapon at that point.
No.
But if you say I carry this for self-defense, now it's a weapon, and it's articulation. And frankly, I have a knife. Do I use it for anything other than opening apples and letters and Amazon deliveries? No. But
Exactly.
could it become a weapon of opportunity? Anything could. All right. This blah, 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 blah. What is this? James says, continues with spamming about self-defense. James obviously does not understand the Criminal Code of Canada because self-defense is absolutely there. Let's see here. T says drinking and driving at the moment. Wonderful. Thank you for admitting it. Please pull over, wait for police to come and arrest you.
I feel like those people are they're just trolling.
Well, they are just trolls.
They're just trolling.
But they think that
trolling and rolling.
They think that we care what they say.
I know.
It's okay. Sadly, we have a very broken chat group right now. Everything's down. Like we're not getting messages from any platform, and we have a lot of people. We have 82 people watching on primarily on YouTube and X. We got one person watching on Twitch. So nobody on Facebook today. Interesting. We have people on YouTube. Did I say that already? And then we don't see Kik reporting. So Kik could have a whole bunch of people, and then we have a bunch of people who are watching on X, not X. TikTok, which is kind of broken but working. So if you're on, did I say TikTok? TikTok. Yeah. If you're there, do us a favor. Can you tap that screen? Bring more people to the party, and likes. We had 10,000 likes on yesterday's live, and it was a
I saw that it was like a
pre-recorded one.
Yeah,
I was live in the chat. I was in a meeting, but I was there actively chatting with people. So it was a thing. Someone says, "Why don't you pull people over for driving with their high beams on?" We do. Yes. And then Greg Marsh. Is it Greg Marsh? No, Greg. Where the heck did it go? What happened to the Telegram channel, Sean? It's still there. Telegram is there. Telegram.TrafficCop.ca. Now, what's the new law with the breathalyzer? That is the question. We actually talked about it before. Have you heard about this?
Yes, it's been all over the news that you could be expected for a breath sample with not even
okay.
not even suspected of drinking.
So here's
under the influence.
I'm going to end up dumping that on the floor. It's not a new law. It's been around since 2018.
Oh,
this is not at all new.
I feel like and they're just bringing it back or never really
it's never stopped.
Never really enforced.
The way it works, and I talked about it again. And if you missed it, I went into some detail at the beginning of the show. But here's the deal with mandatory alcohol screening. Mandatory alcohol screening is specific to a roadside demand for a sample of breath to determine if you have alcohol in your blood. Mm-hmm. Prior to MAS being introduced in 2018, if I had reason to suspect that you had alcohol in your blood, whether it be based on odor of an alcoholic beverage or admission of consumption, or some combination thereof, I could say, hey, I need a breath sample. And of course, we don't actually say, hey, we read the sample, the demand from the back of the book. But that was always there. Mandatory alcohol screening means that we could actually say every fifth car, every stop, whatever we're doing, we can now demand a sample of your breath without suspicion of there actually being alcohol in your breath. And what's amazing is we just had someone who was going to work in a morning, and they got pulled over. And they were drunk, or at least they were over the limit. And the officer had they were just doing the everything people when we're getting arrests because of it. I say we, this is an OPP story, but people are being arrested because they are doing the wrong thing. They're still drinking. They're drunk from the night before.
That's crazy. So
people don't understand alcohol. But that's the deal, is that we could do it for everybody. We could. Toronto, it's a Canadian-wide. It's Canadian. It's a Canada-wide law. It's part of the Criminal Code of Canada, but it is something that it's not abused, and this isn't an abuse. It's without bias. If everybody's being tested, there is no bias there.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any alcohol in your system, you've got absolutely nothing to worry about.
There you go. Just don't drink and drive. How simple is that?
It's like avoiding speeding tickets. Don't speed.
Or with any ticket, just obey the rules, and you won't get a ticket.
Yes. Anonymous wants someone to get a ticket. They say, I have a video of someone driving a semi while on the phone. How do I report it? Depending on where it took place, chances are if it's a semi, chances are it's a video of somebody on the highway. You could speak to the local authorities, which in Ontario would be the OPP. The deal, however, is that those videos rarely have enough evidence to cause a ticket to be issued. By the way, good morning, Owen, who's coming in through X. because we need to know time, date, location, identity of the driver, identity of the vehicle. If it's the cab video, we don't know who it is, and that's just what it is. Are you a professional dart player? I don't get the joke there. If it is a joke, do I see a dart board somewhere? Is there some key that suggests that I don't get it? That's AJ Gibson who asks that. Okay. Someone said Walmart is disgusting. Why? I don't understand the context of that comment.
Maybe they're arguing with someone.
There might be some dialogue. Yeah.
Chat.
Please use the letter Q amongst the conversation that you're, or the post you're making. Let's see here. AJ Gibson says, yes, do not take it. Only 24-hour ban if below over 1 month ban. What? Okay, AJ Gibson's giving really bad advice if they're saying don't. What is the don't take it? Mandatory alcohol screening, if a demand is read for a roadside screening device, for a breath test with a qualified breath technician, or a roadside sobriety test, you must comply. If you don't, you're going to be charged criminally for refuse. And that is much easier for us to get a conviction. So in some ways, if you refuse, thank you, because you've given us less work. It's way easier.
There you go.
Yeah. And then someone says if you chew gum, it'll go off as well. Or it'll fail. There's sugar alcohol, and you might have residual alcohol in your mouth. It could trigger it. This is why we wait. We wait a certain amount of time prior to giving you the test to ensure that it doesn't go off. So when we ask you if you've chewed gum, you should tell us the truth, because you might fail, and then you lose that ability because you told us that you didn't do anything. So then it's the alcohol triggering it, not your chewy. Chewy is what they call gum in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Aussie slang.
I just caught a question about parking.
Go for it.
In the live chat. It was just about motorcycle parking.
Oh, yes.
If they're allowed to still park on the street for free. Yes, in the metered zoned areas, you are exempt from payment, but motorcycles can get tickets for all other bylaws, like no parking, no stopping, no standing. So there's lots of space for you all to park with your motorcycles for free, so utilize it, please. Save yourself some money.
I'm checking that apparently Telegram's not working. It's working. I just used it. I don't know why it's not working for you. Are we spelling Telegram? Telegram.TrafficCop.ca. It worked for me. I'm looking back.
They're saying, can you type out Telegram link? I just saw that in the live chat.
So I mean, I can give you the can I do it? Here, I'll do it like this. I'll give you the direct without the forwarding. I guess I have to.
Other people are saying it's working fine. I just joined.
Yeah. How do I go to chat? Here we go. Chat.restream. I'll put it.
Cool story there, Frank Sultan, about going 356 kilometers an hour on a motorcycle. Super cool story.
Well, it's a story, but actually, I did get a video, and I'm waiting for the thumbs up to share it. But an officer did get a motorcycle doing 220, and he was on foot at the time was standing at the side of the road. Yeah,
they actually stopped.
No, well, not, it was such. I'll show you the video. I can't show everybody else yet because I'm waiting for approval. But I will show Aaron right now because
woo!
that was a blip. That was a frame, I think, on the video.
Yeah, like if you blink, you miss that. That's crazy. Whew.
Okay, we got Northern Pike comments. Just Michael. Okay, we got Australia. Michael says, put another prawn on the bobby. Prawn is an actual Aussie. Yeah, shrimp on the bobby is what a Yank said for a travel ad. I like this. Michael has no shortage of lingo that, like he calls, what do you call them? Rosers? Michael calls coppers rosers. Mind you, copper is even a thing. Let's say here. I got to double check to make sure. What's going on here? Oh, we got thumbs up to see you soon. Cool. We're filming a podcast. I mentioned that earlier. Okay.
Who are you doing that with again?
I'm not telling.
Oh, sorry, it's a secret. Sorry.
But it's outside of the service.
Okay, cool.
What is this? What's the charge for refusing, and what's the penalties? That's Hoban 15 asked that earlier. We talked about this already, but it's refuse, and the penalties are the same as if you failed. This is in regards to breath sample, which again, it's easy. If you see, did we talk about the parking question that you had seen while I got all discombobulated?
Yeah, with the motorcycle parking. Just,
okay. James Altz is really into questions about self-defense, like spamming. He called me Mr. Cop, though. That's nice. What's the max speed you'd go in the passing lane if it's clear and empty? I get it. We talked about this one earlier. Scrolling down to things we have not yet talked about. Kian says... so Kian is upset that Emma, who is like an unofficial ambassador of the channel,
we love Emma.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kayla is reminding us that it's 11 o'clock. We might be able to squeeze a few more minutes in here.
Yeah, sorry, I came late to the show.
Well, and it was a bit of a discombobulated show because of the issues with TikTok and the chat in general, although it appears that YouTube chat is working as well as X. And we've got a ton of people who are watching here. We've got... big numbers. We're over 100 people in the live stream spread between YouTube, on X, Twitter. I look at the logo and I'm like, what is that? It's not a bird. It's an, I don't know. I get still.
X. I just still call it Twitter. I don't know.
What is tweeting on X? Is it still tweeting or is it Xing?
I don't even know.
What is the?
Yeah, it doesn't say, does it say what's on your mind? So I don't know.
I don't know.
Excellent.
See here, this is, Michael, thank you for this. Rozzers, peelers, and bobbies are UK slang for police based on Sir Robert Peel, who established the Metropolitan London Police. Copper probably came from the same badges being made of copper. And there's also the concept that it's copping. I think it's about pinching.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're putting the hand on somebody. I'm not sure, but it could be the badge. Oh, Chanel is a troll and full of it, but anyway, we got here. What is this? Can you turn left on a red at a one-way street when you're turning onto a one-way? Yes, you can. So people ask. I don't know why this is a
common question.
It's more common than you'd think.
Like we've gotten it in the chat multiple times over the years.
Matt says, I might have missed it, but I'm late to the party. Is there any thoughts on OPP conducting mass on? We just finished talking about it for the second time in the stream. It's a popular question because it's in the media, but it is an OPP only thing in that they're doing it with every stop. That's their policy in the GTA. Do I think it's a good thing? They're catching people. They're catching people they would never have tested otherwise. So absolutely a good thing. Are we doing it? We have our own policies about it. It's not in every car mandatory situation. It is, based on the plan. It's self-led. If I say at the beginning of the shift, and I write in my book, I'm going to stop every fifth car and do a test because that's how I ride. I have a friend who's been doing since 2018 when the law came out, when the change in the law came out, he's been doing every single vehicle stop. That's just how he does it. So, yeah. Constable on patrol is what Radek says. And that I think Constable on patrol, maybe that's actually what it is, or maybe it's not. It certainly is if you watched the Police Academy movies of the 80s and 90s. That's one of the I think one of the movies was Constable on patrol because they had the citizen. Hang on. Wrong keyboard. I need another desk. That's a desk in front of my desk for my desk. Okay. Police Academy. Movie titles. I can't type. Okay. So it was Citizens on Patrol, Cop. Maybe I'm. So yeah, Police Academy 4. There's 11 of them, aren't there?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, I have the box set on VHS. Best movies of all time. Filmed in Toronto at the beginning. The original ones.
Oh, really?
Guelph Humber was the original Police Academy location. And I love going there and seeing Commandant Lessard's office. But anyway, I digress. I'm a geek. Okay. I love those movies. That's my favorite. They're not the reasons I'm a cop. It's just, but I love them. Yes, Loganito. Let's see here. How do I do this?
Links.
I'm going to... Hang on. Here we're doing it. I miss you, Logan. Here we go, Logan. Hang on a second. For anyone who has no idea what I'm talking about, Logan Grant, a magical man from Happy Land. Restream. Here we go. I need to get the link to send to Logan. Come on, Logan. Invite guests. Copy link. we go. Hey, you texted me. I didn't even see. Here we go. You can jump in the live. This Logan is from Brooks, Alberta. Well, he's from here, but he lives in Brooks, Alberta, and he is a constable who does traffic stops, and he wears a cowboy hat with his magnificent beard. He makes my beard look like a joke. That's what we're saying. And yeah, he used to join us on a regular basis. He's been really busy now. He's all promoted and such.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the promotion.
See, Liz, Michael says Citizens on Patrol was a police academy. First one was the good one, of course. It was the best one. They even went to Russia in one episode. Well, I don't know if they actually went to Russia. Radic says, I just finished Humber. That's where the movie was filmed. Yes, indeed. Hello from the Philippines. Now, were you here yesterday or the day before yesterday? Because I remember saying hello to someone from the Philippines. So hello back to the Philippines. I was saying that I have not actually been there, and I want to go.
It's beautiful, apparently.
Cowboy says, cowboy hat. I just love I love it. Just hearing about it. All right. Yes, he'll be here shortly while he goes through all the clicks and things that needs to happen in order for the connections to occur. Let's see here. Scrolling through questions that have been asked. Is it illegal to drive with a broken foot while wearing a cast or boot? This is Luca Cacciopo. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm trying desperately to get it, but I'm going to give up now. The answer is if the broken foot isn't the foot you're driving with, because if you have a broken foot with it's in a cast, you can't actually safely operate a motor vehicle. If you broke your left foot but your right foot's available, you're using the foot that's not broken, I don't think you have much of a problem. Depends. Hello, Mr. Logan.
Hey.
Oh.
What is happening, my friend?
Not much, you?
Well, it's been a while. Your beard looks shorter than last day I saw it, and no less magnificent. But now we're at least on equal footing. And yeah, things are good. Good to see you. What's happening in the world of Brooks, Alberta, in your inverted camera?
It's just lots of job security out there. Unfortunately, everything is so busy here. It's unbelievable. The nicer weather's bringing on all the wonderful things that come with that. So
wonderful weather usually means for higher speeds.
Yep.
And that can be a problem. Hey, Sergeant Campbell just popped in.
It's a party.
Hey, well, because Logan Grant is on screen. Have you seen Logan? I haven't seen Logan. Have you ever seen Logan? I believe so. Wow. So Logan is here. It's a party.
I'm jumping in the middle.
Yes. We've got a full failure of comment section, like things we had to go through low tech and cut and paste, and so we've had technological issues, but we are trucking. We've had Jason Tomlinson from the Ontario Police Memorial Foundation popped in to talk about the fact that Sunday is the Police Memorial. Now we're talking about law and stuff and things in Alberta. What is something that you've been wondering about?
What have I been wondering about?
Well, all those fun family questions about Brooks, Alberta, or driving laws, because he's the man.
He is the man.
He's the man.
I am a man.
He is a man.
The man.
I don't know. Been a long time since I've been in Alberta, so
We miss you.
actually, I was born there, so
Edmonton, right?
I don't have my
Edmonton?
Edmonton?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
He says Edmonton, right? I mean,
Yes.
yes. I have family in Edmonton that I've not visited in far too long. Probably, I haven't seen them since I got married. It's been a while. Now I have to go to Edmonton, and then I have to go to Brooks. Actually, I need to get a cowboy hat is what I need.
We'll send you one.
He's going to send me a cowboy hat.
Yeah?
That would be good. Okay.
Would you believe that I have one?
Do you have one?
I do.
Was it custom made?
No, it's not custom.
I've been watching,
I have one,
and
I have boots.
I haven't had boots in many. I wore cowboy boots in high school, and then I grew out of them. But cowboy hats, I've been seeing like Texas sheriffs going into carnivals and then having a guy shape the cowboy hat like those. Right there, like making it. I want one of those. I want that. I want them to make me my own cowboy hat.
So
they do that for us here. So.
Yes, it's a bit.
He does that.
You do that? You shape cowboy hats?
Yeah, they do that for us when we get it. We got ours from Calgary Police Service, and we go to Smith Built, where they
built from Calgary Police Services. Really, it helps if you have headphones.
Yeah, it would.
And cowboy. So cowboy CA says I approve of the cowboy hats. Do you have your hat close by?
I do. 1 second.
Look at that. Is that not awesome? Now, I have to say that OPP had Stetsons for a period of time, and I was a fan. I was a fan of the Stetson. I mean, I'm not as much. I prefer the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
But going to baseball caps, I'm not a fan of this. I prefer the forage cap. I think it's much more official. I think that's just awesome. I now want a horse too because I need a horse if I get a hat. Is there like a 2-for-1 deal? Is there some kind of thing?
It probably doesn't help that I'm afraid of horses. So
Are you really?
yeah,
Is it because they spook you out, or because you worry about getting hurt by them?
trampled, 100%.
Trampled. You're worried about. See, I went to the stables a couple days ago because I brought our friend from the Australian police in Victoria, or it's the Victoria Police in Australia, and we went there. And I met a number of horses, and they looked at me, and I looked at them, and I wasn't scared. I don't think they were scared. There's some big. We have some big. Our horses are almost. I think they're all Clydesdales except for 1 or 2.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think they're Clydesdales.
Yeah. He told me how they shave the legs and everything. They're Clydesdales. He's a big. It's like a moose. And one of them's named Moose. I thought they were mixed. There's a couple of mixed horses, but most of them are full on Clydesdales.
See, I'm a car, power sports, boating. I need more than 1 horsepower in whatever I'm riding.
So here's a question that was asked. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, you're getting this. That's much better. We can read the English on your vest now.
Here we go.
So the comment just before you jumped into the live, it was, "Can I drive with a broken foot while wearing a boot or cast?" And I'm interested in both of your takes on it, because I said if it's not the foot you drive with, if it's not your foot that's controlling the pedals, I don't think it's a problem. If it's the foot that you're trying to actuate your pedals, that's dangerous. That's careless. Yeah.
So we know that it's lawful for people, paraplegics, to operate vehicles with special equipment on there. I would say if it does not affect the operation of the vehicle in any way, obviously if you have a broken left foot and you're trying to drive a standard car, that could kind of affect you.
Yeah.
But just like oversized boots, my big snowmobile boots can affect the way I drive my vehicle because there's not an awful lot of room down there with these big snowmobile boots on. So if you have a boot on over your cast or something like that may affect your ability to drive, that could be a factor in investigating a collision. So
apparently,
ditto.
Would you say the same thing that he said?
Yeah.
He can hear you, you can't hear him.
Yep.
And I'm reading comments from another app altogether.
Who said we can't multitask?
Well, I'm not multitasking. I mean, totally ignoring you. I do this because I cannot. I appreciate that multitasking is absolutely a fallacy. It is all about switching, and I'm switching very poorly. But there's so much dialogue here going on. People are getting mean apparently because my wife said, "Please be kind," in the chat. So now I'm really curious what they're talking about. We talked about the parking. Do you have free motorcycle parking in your city?
We don't charge for parking in our city. So.
Anywhere. Wow. So I guess you don't have much parking enforcement.
Not in the terms of public parking where there's permits. Yeah, we don't have that. So we do a lot of parking, but not for paid lots. So
okay. Well, because in Toronto it's paid street parking, but it's free to park there with a motorcycle on the street, not in your paid parking lot. Effie wants to know if you can drive if a G1 can drive on Allen Road because it looks like a highway, I'm assuming. So yeah, Allen Road is a permissible 80-kilometer-an-hour zone. Actually, not all of it is 80, but there is the highest speed permissible. The speed limit on some areas of it is 80. Let's see here. Some good advice saying don't drink and drive. That's very good. Be the sober one, and that sober means sober, not the least drunk. I think people get confused very often. What is the best excuse you've ever had for speeding? Logan, that's for you. What's your best speeding excuse that you've heard?
My colostomy bag burst.
No.
Yes.
You got to tell me that one.
My colostomy bag burst is the best excuse he's ever heard.
Okay, but how does going fast change any of that?
Oh, it doesn't.
That was my question.
It's a crappy situation.
It's a crappy situation.
Very crappy.
But
yeah, not an excuse that would have landed any win, but it is interesting. Okay.
The bathroom excuse is
I have to poo is almost always the one that I've heard. And I was just in an article, and I told that story to them, and they put that in the article. Which I have to send it to you because I'm an auto trader talking about the wildest things I've seen as a traffic cop. So let's see here. What do we have here? Allen Road is counted. No, Allen Road is not a 400 series highway. It is Allen Road for a reason. Looking for another question here. Flag, no. Working fine. Okay, lots of people dialoguing about that. Cues really do help. Like, oh, here, when making a left turn at a red light after complete stop, will camera ticket it. A left turn at a red light? Generally speaking, we're making right turns at red lights. If you're making a left turn at red light, you're probably proceeding before green, which is an offense, unless you're at a one-way street going to another one-way street.
Right. So the automatic red light enforcement cameras are set so that if you come to a complete stop before entering the intersection, it will not take a picture of you. So you're obligated to come to a complete stop before making a right turn, even on a red, or a left turn from one way to one way. And I guess if you were to come to a complete stop and proceed into the intersection on a red light, it would not get you. They're just not set up that way. But we may get you because if you enter on a red and turn left, there's an offense.
Frank Zoltan says, I have a fake plate you can buy on Amazon for $43, plus I have never had insurance for 11 years. So Frank is a fantastic representative of the good people. I say that with much sarcasm because I can't use the language I want to use. It's a excrementy kind of thing to do. Like it's not.
I love catching them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Frank, I'll be keeping an eye for you.
Yes. I wonder if that is a real name because I imagine we could find Frank if we wanted to. But the deal is that it's a $5,000 to $25,000 fine the first time that you get caught, and up to 6 months in jail. Like I think everyone should get to jail. I don't think that it should be I think it should be always the maximum, and I think it should be always. But I'm kind of extreme that way.
I agree.
You concur?
Yeah. For no
I'm
one
extreme that you should get $25,000 in fines and 6 months in jail.
both.
Is there one there? Cops should have to do a breathalyzer before the start of every shift.
Where does it say
See
that?
how fast that law changes.
Oh, I actually
we do.
Because you have to test the machine to make it's working. Yeah. So ha, John.
And under the Police Services Act in Ontario, which actually doesn't exist anymore, a supervisor can demand a breath test from any officer at any time.
Binsky wants to know what the process is for wearing a kippah while on duty. It has always been acceptable for Jewish members to wear a kippah. Actually, I don't think you have to be Jewish to wear it, but if you wanted to wear a kippah, it's always been permissible. But now it's actually been entered into our uniform code. It has actually, and this one's an issued one with a Toronto Police logo on it, but it is just you wear it. That's the process. And you can, and just to say, there are Sikh members who wear turbans. There are Muslim members who have different. What is the proper? My mind just popped and I lost the term.
This is your story. So we're waiting for you to tell it.
Yeah.
Is it a hijab? So, regardless of what your faith is, most of the required accoutrements are supported as part
Religious head attire?
Religious head attire? Yeah. There's lots of stuff. But thank you for asking.
Headdress?
Okay. Headdress works.
Let's share this one.
Yeah, it's kind of blocking my face, but it's fine.
That's okay.
It's
No.
hiding in the corner. My face is still red anyway.
Banana Brett. I don't know how you came to be called Banana Brett, but moving on. People are stealing vehicles at an alarming rate. It is a huge problem. Vehicle theft is a huge problem. And we are working to police in general as a policing community, working to dismantle these networks. But the problem is crime is not new. Crime is something that is you take out one organization, they're out of business. Now there's a vacuum where other organizations who are also interested in do no good kind of stuff, they just fill in the void. So while it may appear that nothing is changing, we're making lots of arrests. We're definitely making a dent, but that just means there's more opportunity for more criminals to jump in.
And you know what? This is not only a policing problem, but this is a manufacturer's problem as well. Back when it was easy to steal Dodge Neons and minivans with a screwdriver, that's how they did it. And it was required Dodge, the manufacturer, to come up with a new ignition system that would stop this. All manufacturers now seem to have gone to the keyless push-button start and stop, which makes it susceptible to be hacked and stolen quite easily. So I turn it right back around to the manufacturers to invest in the product that they're putting out, and make it ones that will stay with their owners.
And here's another problem. It used to be a screwdriver to be able to get her going, and then it became other techniques to steal the cars. And with every change, crime pays, so they educate themselves and they find ways of defeating it. And truly, to the point where they'll wake you up in bed and, with a bang bang in their hand and say, "Give me your keys."
Yep.
So whatever we amp it up to, if the criminal element is still willing to take the risks, they'll continue to change their behavior to accommodate their winning and us losing, and that's a bad problem.
And if there's no consequences to actions, then doesn't matter what the risk is. It'll just keep going because the money is too good.
Yeah, and that's where the courts have to come into play and really put people in for a long time.
Yes.
Away.
And it's a Toronto issue too. Like, I mean, it's North America. It's probably more than that. I mean, we have a big issue here in our area with auto theft, and the difference here is, I mean, you know, the 5 people who are doing it, they go away, auto theft goes down, and then in a couple months later they're out, and then auto theft goes back up again.
In his community, certain people are go into jail, everything stops, they get out of jail, it happens again. So because it's a smaller pool of
Imagine that,
of players.
Right?
We call them clues.
Clues. Booksy wants to know if firefighters or police officers make more money. I don't know what they make.
More like
I don't actually know what they make, but I do know how many days
Yes, they
a
work.
year they work.
So
And
based on the per hour, I think they do better. Based on that.
probably.
I also know that many of them build homes and decks and have extracurricular activities because they work like 4 days a month or something. Like, I mean, it's 24-hour periods, but they work very little in comparison to.
Not taking away from the service that they provide.
No, they're amazing. I have friends who are.
And I only say it out of pure jealousy that they only have to work a couple of days a month.
I just like that they get sleepovers. Like, every time I've investigated a collision for a fire truck, I've been fed very well. Gourmet pizza because they hit the car when they were picking up the supplies for the pizza making. I went to one where a similar situation, and they took out a car very innocently, very minor damage, but they had a charcuterie board full of like some of the nicest meats and cheeses I've ever been exposed to.
In the truck?
No, this was in the firehouse.
Oh, okay.
And it was because the night before they had like a deli was burning to the ground, and the owner gave them this beautiful thing for saving his store. We don't get charcuterie boards from delis that were saved because we didn't save them. Let's see here. Okay, we got Stetsons are good for sunshade. Yeah.
So are cowboy hats.
True. We got people who've gone a little offside there. 74 new messages. Now we got people who are asking interesting questions. Okay, well, enough. I think we're having so many technical issues with the chat today. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about, Mr. Logan there?
I just want to say hi and be
You have a very organized patch collection as opposed to my sporadic. Do I have a Brooks, Alberta patch on the wall? I don't think I do. I think you sent me one, but I don't think it's made it to the wall. It must have gone to my home collection. I have to bring it back and put it on the wall. Or you can send me another one.
I'll send you another one.
What is on the wall behind him?
That's patches. Oh, that's a winter toque on a head.
You have a standard head behind you.
You know, we do things different out here.
You do things different out here. That is evident. Let's see here. Gecko has a solution for the OBD port hack. Who do I need to talk to? If you go to TrafficCop.ca, you can certainly send me a message. I'd love to hear what the hack or the solution is. I quite like the idea of putting a cage over it, but the problem is that physical blocks aren't absolute solutions. They know what all the things are. No matter how many times we defeat or come up with ways of making life more difficult for them, they adapt. I give credit where credit is due, and criminals tend to be pretty quick on the uptake when it comes to finding ways to take advantage of people. They may be, people worthy of jail time, but I credit their ingenuity.
Yep. I still use the club on my car. I know it can be defeated, but I still use it.
Well, you don't want to make life easy for them. You have to make them work for it. If they're going to do it, I like some of the concepts that in countries that have laws different than ours, like pepper, just like packs that blow up, or electrocuting the people. In some countries, that's not a problem, but here we like to be keeping people safe and do things that are lawful.
But even the club's not a bad idea because someone sees the club, and if it's the only club on the street, they're just going to go to the next car.
Well,
so they don't need the hassle.
That's precisely the way. He's just saying you make your vehicle less attractive, they'll go to the neighbor's car. And I hate to say that your neighbor is going to get the brunt of it if your car looks less attractive to steal, but that's the deal.
Well, I would agree with you in joyrider type thefts.
Yeah.
Where somebody has just decided they want to take a car for a ride home or to go do a crime in where they don't carry the car. Now, with cars being so expensive, cars ranging from $200,000 to $500,000 around here, it's all about the money, and I'm sure the criminals have a shopping list of the ones that they want. And
Gone in 20 seconds, 60 seconds. What's the movie called with Nick Cage?
Yep, Gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah, great movie. I liked it. And then anyway, the deal with that is that it's a shopping list, and they'll come with a tow truck if they don't have. It doesn't have to run, but they'll get it and they'll deal with it when they're safe and sound in their hideaway in a cave somewhere. I don't know. It's wild. I have to go because I have a podcast to record with a guest who's coming in very shortly if they're not already here. But I have some dad jokes. So here is dad joke number 1. Logan, tell me if you've ever heard of this one. How many liars does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Got me.
None. They're just gaslighting. They use gaslighting. I got to read it. I thought I had it in my head. They use gaslighting. Let's see here. We talked about, this is a question. I don't know this was a question from the beginning of the show. Brandon asked it. Do motorcycles have the same noise restrictions as cars? Yeah, unnecessary noise is unnecessary noise. They have to have mufflers. Do you guys go, is unnecessary noise a big thing for you guys?
Yeah. So we have everything from, specific to the actual exhaust to just cause loud, excessive noise. So, yeah.
Another dad joke. My wife wanted peace and quiet while cooking. I threw out the smoke detector.
That would be me cooking in my house, actually.
I have a smoke filter, like an air purifier, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm cooking, it goes on. It's amazing how sensitive it is.
I think the trick is to
not burn your food.
Great smoke.
I don't see any smoke. Much. Let's see here.
Did you talk about the mandatory breath
Oh
test?
my goodness, did we ever? Yes, it was on and on. Throughout the show, we talked about it.
That it's everywhere across Canada.
It's been there since 2018. Yeah.
And the OPP are not the first police service to start this. RCMP have been doing this for a while in different provinces.
I did not know that.
They get the same hate out here, so.
But you guys are RCMP. Are they doing it for every stop?
They're supposed to, yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, this is good. We don't do it for every stop. We do it for whatever we put in our notepad that we're planning on doing. If it's every car, some guys do it for every stop, and they've always done it since it came out.
As long as we're not targeting any specific people.
It's all about
or
unbiased
cars or whatever. Yeah. Being unbiased, it's random. Mm-hmm. Every third stop we're going to do it. Every stop we're going to do it.
Free from bias.
Yep.
A quote from ASKaTrafficCop. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. Martin Luther King Jr. said that. According to ASKaTrafficCop, who could be writing these in his bathroom in the morning. I don't know what they actually are. We don't know. I've not checked the sources, but that is a good quote. I like that quote.
As do I.
Yeah.
Aaron, you have an opinion?
Logan.
So I'm reading some of the chat. Yeah. Distracting.
People want to talk about the police, the pursuit that took place that involved a collision that was fatal. We didn't get into the details of that. We did briefly talk about the concerns and emergency procedures dealing with a wrong way driver on the highway and how much of a priority that is. And the only thing I'll tell you is this. What is more visible? A car coming at you at the other, against the flow of traffic, a contraflow driver, or a car coming at you with a car behind it with lots of lights and flashing lights to give you an indication that something's going on?
But we'll leave it at that because
it's an investigation.
The SIU has been invoked, and we can't talk about any investigation, even if it's not our investigation.
And truthfully, I don't know anything about it beyond what I saw in the news. I have no inside track, so I'm not coming at you with anything other than what I'm sharing with is my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah. So Emma says, it's the whole crew. And Ogie calls us narcissists. Everyone's a narcissist. Everyone has narcissistic tendencies.
Really?
It's a spectrum. there's a spectrum of narcissism. Blue Line says Shabbat Shalom. And let's see here. Are Ontario police doing stops on tests on every question on every stop? Some are. And Pablo says, I got a question. And to Pablo, I say, I might have an answer.
What's the question?
I need to know. We're waiting. No pressure. Let's see here. Okay. Hey, are you going to be available to do this again sometime? Now that this is the first, it's been months since we've seen you.
Yeah,
His beard
time.
retracted.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's getting warmer out here, so I got to retract it a bit.
But are you going to be around more, or are you going to come back to the show?
I'll be around more.
Cool.
I'll harass you every morning, and you let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. Hey, listen, love to have you on here. Making it a interprovincial show is cool. And then when we actually have questions from the audience, we can actually discuss things like that, because it's not nice when it doesn't work. But I did see here Pablo finally came back with their question, and the question is: I got 2 tickets and I went to check the status online, but nothing popping up. So what does that mean? When did you get the tickets? It takes about 4 days for them to be entered into the system, 4 business days. So that may be the issue. And if you have gone, if it's a week or more, and you're wondering why it's not there, I would phone the courts.
They
Yes.
followed up with, I did earlier resolution.
Oh,
There you go.
now I'm confused.
Months back.
Oh, months back? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's possible that they were never filed. There may be a computer issue. So I would go to the courts in person, possibly, and say, hey, what's up? And then let them tell you. And if they say it's not something that you have to worry about, make sure it's not something you don't have to worry about, but they put it in writing.
Yes. And if you're worried, go and get a check of the status of your driver's license.
Because you might be suspended.
And you may not know it.
Because the ticket may have been processed and dealt with. Oh, I lit it suddenly.
Now it's working.
It's working.
And suddenly it's working.
Of course, right when you're
When are we going
wrapping
to say
it up.
goodbye? Yeah. Okay. I got to send a tech support message in. So, here, this is a question from Josh, who happens to be in Edmonton, Alberta. Right? Have I got that right? I think he's in Edmonton. What exactly are Alberta's tint laws?
Ooh, it's pretty much the same as you guys. Well, you guys allow some tint, right?
Are you no tint?
Yeah, we are no tint. You can't have any tint on the side windows or the front windshield. Zero, none.
0.
Just makes it easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
Like nothing?
nothing. No.
I love it. I like it a lot. That
We don't have
sounds
to go with
good.
our tint meters and our different. No, it's just
Just
nothing.
none, not a niche, 9, 0, zilch.
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
162.
What about factory tint?
Factory tint, but factory tint. So, have you been seeing the Mercedes with the green windshields?
Yes.
What is that? Is that
I
not
mean,
tint?
it's manufactured, so it's embedded in the
It
glass.
says embedded in the glass. It's not
Right,
it's
but
made.
it's a factory coating that goes on there
Yeah.
that actually stops. It's reflective,
Yeah.
which by Ontario laws makes it unlawful.
Right.
Yeah.
But it comes from the factory. So
Yeah.
Question for you again. Alberta's peace officers equivalent to the special constables in Ontario?
Very similar. Yes. We have full traffic authority though, and I don't know if special constables.
No, special constables here don't have. Some of them can direct traffic. If we're talking about special constables and what authorities they have.
it is the authorities, whatever authority is deemed upon them by the chief of police.
So they can
So
be given expanded.
They can do this or this or this or not one of these, or kind of like us, we could arrest and transport prisoners and stuff like that as a court officer, but we couldn't enforce the Highway Traffic Act.
The question I just put on the screen was how to contact me, and the answer to that is TrafficCop.ca. There's a form you can submit. If you're trying to get a hold of me, that would be one of the ways, or DM me on whatever platform you're coming in through. That is also a way to do it. Let's see here. We got so much fun when it actually works, and we can see questions. What about attachable car blinds for the sun? Car blinds? Like if you put them on the windshield, it makes it very hard to see.
So I think they're talking about the ones that you can put on it goes over the entire back window.
Passenger seats?
They're kind of
Yeah.
like shades for if you have, your infant in the back seat,
Okay.
things like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Possibly, maybe.
Your back seats, no problem. You can tint your back seats as dark as you want.
Yeah.
You can put your shades down on the back.
Well, Senorita follows up saying, "Are car blinds banned for the driver's side?" So you mean covering the entire window? Yeah, you have to be able to see through the driver and passenger side front windows. The rear windows you could black out, but the windshield and the ones left and right have to be transparent. In fact, although a blind is not tint, you can't
an
prevent this from you're obscuring the interior.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be obscure the interior.
Yeah.
How about you see your
And
mirrors,
out.
too?
Well, that's it. You're also obscuring the driver's view, so that you're eligible for not only blocking our view in, but your view out. So yes, they would be banned. North Korea, no tint equals full-on North Korea. Oh, that's what they're saying. I thought you were saying you're in North Korea. So
get
they're
that
suggesting that a lack of tint option makes it
A communist.
okay.
regime.
Communist regime. I disagree, but yeah, we are entitled to watch you pick your nose. You have no right to privacy when you're digging for gold while driving. Just saying. Sup.
So
Okay.
Sup-a-choo.
Mike says, so if it comes from factory, it's automatically legal? No. They have to meet standards, safety standards for import and sale. But if it meets the standard, if it's been approved legitimately, and it's not aftermarket, so they may have some contingent that makes it legal, but the laws for tint are aftermarket. And if you buy glass that is not the appropriate transparency and put like stuff that's not rated for windshield in Ontario, then you can't use it. It's illegal.
Right.
It has to be the standards set forth.
yeah.
We have someone who says Aaron's looking great this morning.
Hey, what about
Yeah, I know. What can I say? Let's see here. Hi, I'm an Ontario RN international student. I want to be a cop. What's the process? You came and found the right place. Just go to tps.ca/careers. I'll put that on screen because I have it right there. And the answer is all the information you'd ever want to know and more is there. That's where you get it. Okay, I love that it's working, but I unfortunately have to say goodbye. Yeah. But we'll be back on Monday.
Monday? I won't be here Monday.
You won't be here Monday?
No.
Oh.
Got stuff and things to do.
Stuff and things is a real deal. But yeah, we'll be here Monday. At least some of us will be here Monday, and then we will continue and have the discussions. Hopefully, with technology cooperating better. But I will. I wish you to have a wonderful weekend. Drive safe. Drive sober. Park legally. Any other words of what's the Alberta request?
Crotches kill.
Crotches kill. Crotches kill was one of their most effective.
Crotches.
Crotches. The crotch.
Yeah, you look at your cell phone down to your crotch.
They put this. It was a cell phone campaign. Crotches kill.
Oh, okay. My mind went to crotches.
Go both
create
ways.
life. I don't know.
They create life, which is exactly why.
Not wrong there either.
But it's the reason why it was such an effective campaign is because
It helped with abstinence and keeping the phone out of your hand. It was great.
crotches do change your financial viability.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Can you use your phone if you're not holding it? We got a question about cell phones while we're talking about crotches. You can use your cell phone for the purposes of like it can be mounted. If it's mounted, you can answer and hang up, but you can't dial. You can't touch it any other way. You can't look at the screen in any other mode other than the lock screen. When you're answering the call, it's a lock screen where you're swiping. Or the GPS mode, if it was set to GPS mode prior to driving, because you can't do that while you're driving. You can't interact with the screen in any way, shape, or form other than to answer or hang up.
Yeah. Ours is holding,
All right,
viewing.
I got to run.
Okay. Well, thank you for popping
before
in.
Before I go, I have to do a shout out to my wife if she's watching today.
A little wife who's watching today.
Yeah.
And with that, Logan, have you heard the rock version of the traffic song?
No.
Have you heard the traffic song?
Every day. I have, yes.
You heard the regular one. Okay, let me give you the rock version because I think it's spectacular.
Wayne
Now,
Johnson version or like rock?
no. It's where the heck is that would be interesting.
Rock and roll.
The question is, can I find it? So here it's going to be traffic song rock. Why is it not? Oh, maybe it's in my library. No, Apple Music. Come on. I'm just going to search. So I'm really disappointed. I love Apple, but I'm disappointed in their search functionality. Okay, it's called Traffic Song Rock. Traffic Song? Come on. Where is it? I found it like last week.
Somebody needs
It's the traffic song? Give me a break.
It's just the whole country watching, Sean. No.
It's no pressure at all, right? Where on earth is it? Try search here. The traffic song? Give me a break.
I need the Jeopardy music in a minute.
Yeah.
But it exists. It is on my drive somewhere.
You're just having a day.
I'm not. This is not okay.
All of the technical difficulties.
Right?
Things are not where you want them to be.
For real. I just bloody. Maybe if I go into music for
How about you just sing it and
Yeah. Okay, that traffic song. How about I search rock? Maybe it's metal. Maybe that's why I'm searching it incorrectly.
Oh my God.
Metal. Search it. Okay, I can't type it. Metal. Traffic song metal.
There.
That's why I put rock, and it would help if I put. Okay, here we go.
Yellow light, red light, green light, go.
Look at his face.
Traffic flow. Watch for pedestrians. Look out for bikes and don't drive like a jerk that no one likes.
just clap?
Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely is the way to go. Down your cell phone. Nobody needs you to text and drive on the DVP. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Stop at stop signs, look both ways, then go. Seatbelt save your life indeed. Watch your driving, don't speed. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely helps the traffic flow. Don't drink and drive or smoke some weed. You might go to jail and not get free. Yellow light, red light, green light, go.
I mean, it is awesome. I love it.
Really good. Is
That's
that
a
actually
computer.
like this your song?
That's a computer.
It's AI.
That's AI generated. I took the lyrics from.
Scary.
This is the original, which you've
Yeah.
heard,
Yep.
and I entered the lyrics, and hit go, and it did that.
That's scary though.
Truly,
Like,
truly.
no, really. Like that's
Oh no,
like who is that voice? Like who is that? Like did AI just
it's AI. I mean, that's the whole thing. Okay, we have because we're going to do this. So it's the Logan Grant, the officer from Brooks, Alberta.
Oh no, don't.
He's like, oh
He
no.
has a cowboy
Like,
hat
knock it off right now.
Oh,
and enforces the law. The traffic laws. Okay, so what style of music? We're talking rock,
I'm
country.
a rock kind of guy, you know, country.
Okay, we're gonna say rebellious, gritty rock. Song about. Okay, so here we go. I hit the button. This is how it happens. This is the magic right now. Okay, takes a second. You're the highway hero. It's titled the song automatically to be a highway hero. Highway hero. A highway of heroes. Highway hero. I'm just going to check the lyrics to make sure. Okay.
Clean.
So this is version 1.
With a cowboy hat, struts down the street,
I don't strap on.
looking grand. Officer from Boots Meat, enforcing the law. With a swagger so cool, he's the highway hero. Nobody's fool, riding his horse on the
So you don't like horses, though.
Version 1.
No pain, with a heart of gold and a badge on his chest. Logan serves justice.
I gotta say, this doesn't sound very rebellious rock. Oh, there you go. Maybe now. There you go.
So that's version 1. This is version 2.
Cowboy hat, struts down the street. Logan Grant, officer from Brooks Meats, enforcing the law with a swagger so cool.
I feel like this would be a Chippendale song entrance.
And I'll send you these masterpieces, and there you go. Panda Poe wants to know what time are you online on Monday, Sean? That's Panda Poe asking. 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's when we go live. But I really got to go now because I imagine my guest is coming here anytime.
Oh, boy.
But yes, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time. I am way long on this episode, but it was being so great. This is like, I think, the most guest packed, the busiest.
It was a party.
Jammed.
We had me.
It was a FriYAY.
Friday part. We should do this every Friday. I just need to say, I have more microphones. I have more headphones. I just need to bring them out of the boxes.
I want to sit next to
You want to sit next to your
My
legs?
legs are sore.
She rode her bicycle here.
Yeah, and I'm just not. I'm going to stop.
I mean, this is an hour 40 minutes. That's a long time to stand.
I did 2.5 hours.
I came late to the party. So
well, I will say this: I have an injury, and which many of you know, but I have created more of an injury. I don't know what I did, but I've done something with my IT band, and sitting hurts more than standing. So I'm uncomfortable in different areas because I've been standing for an hour and 40 minutes, but my knee is not swollen and yelling at me. So
well, that's good.
yeah, I'm going to sit now because now I'm tired of standing. So I'll sit for the podcast, which I'll be recording over there. Will be sitting. I'm sitting at the podcast. Anyway, everyone, drive safe, drive sober, park legally. Alberta, what are you saying?
Crotches kill. Yeah.
Crotches kill. All right, cool. Very good. All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.